Okay, Chat GPT. Give me a yes or no answer. Is Audigo worth it in 2026? Let's find out. Oh, if I send the prompt, actually. I'm really excited to see what it says. No. Okay. It says no, unless your top priority is ultra simple mobile music recording / content creation specifically on phone. For most people in 2026, there are more reliable and flexible options for the money. Okay, let us explore this claim and see if it is actually worth it in 2026. I'll give you my full opinion. I want to start this video by saying that Audigo does not know that I am doing this video. They are not sponsoring it in any way. I've just decided to do this because of how impressed I've been with their product. So that should tell you all a little bit of my bias going into it. But I think you'll see that I have good reason to back up why I think what I think about it. So in this video, we're going to explore a few different things. We're going to talk about what is Audigo and how does it work. I'm assuming you know a little bit about it if you're finding my video, but if not, that's okay. We're going to explain it all in detail. We're also going to talk about their customer service and the things that I've seen with that. And then we're going to talk about some examples. Basically, I'll give you some demos and we'll listen to some things that Audigo has produced. Okay. So the first thing I want to go look at is their website. Now, if you are an Audigo user, the most used part of this website, I'd say, is over here under blog. Now, this is coming from the standpoint of somebody who's owned an Audigo for 2 years and, is using it pretty regularly. Now, if you're brand new to Audigo, deciding whether or not you should get one, obviously the website explains a little bit more in depth what Audigo is, and we'll get into that as well. But you'll see in this blog section of the website that they continually update things. They tell you about new releases, things that have changed with the app, and you'll see that in February of this year, 2026, they added cinematic mode, noise reduction, and vocal compression. So we'll get into what all of that is in just a minute, but just know that this part is available for those existing users. The next thing I want to talk about is the price. Now, the price is not cheap, I will say. So if you go to order now, one microphone is about $250. And then also if you buy more than one microphone at a time, you can get little discounts on each one. But yeah, that being said, it's not cheap. Okay, so let's dive into Audigo. As you can see, I have one right here. I actually have two right here. And basically what it is this little microphone that connects wirelessly to your iPhone app, as you can see in this picture right here. And basically how it works is you record content and the microphone records the audio, your phone records the video, and then it puts it together. And you can also record without video if you would like. It also does come in the box with this little magnetic mount. I'm not sure if you can see it good in there, and the microphone just sticks right to it. Which also means that the microphone is magnetic and you can stick it to any other surface that is magnetic, which is super convenient in certain situations. Okay, on to the app. So I'm going to share my phone screen for a minute so we can explore. When you first launch the Audigo app, this is what you'll see. You'll see the Welcome to Audigo little project, and then you can see in here all of your projects that you have been working on. It'll automatically name them as new project 1, 2, 3, etc., or you can rename the project individually. And so let's just dive into a little bit of the features. This is a project that I'm working on, Hark All Ye Nations. And as you can see here, down in this section, you can rename all of the parts that you record. So you can record multiple tracks, and then you can put them together and record on top of it. And so you can see here, I've recorded a couple cello tracks and then a couple piano tracks as well, that some of my friends have I recorded some of my friends doing it, I should say. And then I also had a couple backup piano tracks that we ended up not going with, so right now they're muted. Now this little area down here, you can see I can click and drag this, my cello one part, anywhere. This will up and down changes the volume, and left and right will change it from the left output to the right output. So you can change the stereo width, all of that. So that is very handy. You can rename the tracks to keep everything nice and organized, and do it all visually like that. Another thing, when you record, for example, how I did this project is I recorded the piano part, and then I later came in and recorded the cello part, which means I had 2 videos. So if you go up to the video portion and press mix, then it pulls up this mixer. This mixer is super convenient because you can just press play, and as you can see, it will start playing it. And then if you want to switch to the other video, you simply just tap on the video and it switches it. So for example, if we wanted to just record the piano part for a little while, later we are going to add as well vocals for this, but we don't have those recorded yet. But yeah, I'll skip ahead to where the cello comes in. So I can say, oh, I like the cello part on this, I want to look at that. Or I can switch to the piano, back to the cello, piano, so on and so forth. And you get the gist. Once you play that back, it will do all of those switches that you've done. Yeah, pretty simple. Okay, something else on each part that you record. So if I go to like piano 1, for example, and I will solo that, so we're just listening to it, you can change things such as the reverb. You can change the stereo. Typically for this one, it can't because I exported it and imported it again. But you can change the reverb, so how much you're getting, so lots of reverb or back down. Right, you can also change to, or opt to change everything visually like this. So there's this diagram from short to long and dark to bright. So I can say, oh, I want this really long and bright piano. Down. I just have it in the middle right there for now. And then there are things like the equalizer. So you can go in and change different things on that as well. It also has a visual square. I'm going to turn that back off. I'm happy with how it sounds. You can go to compression and you can add compression. There's also the vocal compression, which you can change specifically for the vocals, which is a really neat feature. You can add delay, and then in utilities you can do noise reduction. I'll be honest, I have not been super impressed with the noise reduction option inside of Audigo. I think if you want to add noise reduction to your piece, you'll probably want to export it to something else and do it in another software. But that's the thing, you can easily export things, do noise reduction, bring it back in, all of that. You can edit it super seamlessly. Okay. So that's just a little bit about what the app does. Also, if you subscribe to the Studio Plus, then you can add people to your projects. So for example, I can press invite collaborators. I can enter in someone's email address, and from there, I can add more people to collaborate on each project. So you can work online with people, which is a super cool feature, in my opinion. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the app that needs to be covered. I guess a couple cool things is it will automatically connect to the microphone, and you can sound check. Now, some of these features I must add, because it does like an automatic sound check. Features like that, you must also do a subscription, which I believe right now is $15 a month for the subscription, which I'm actually paying a little bit less, and we'll talk about how a little bit later once we get to the customer support part of this review. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to switch back over to my computer screen. Okay, so as I just mentioned, let's see if they have, oh yep, Studio Plus. So the Studio Plus, you can subscribe for $15 more, and this is where you'll get a lot more advanced options. So it is pretty expensive to begin with. Plus, it has a subscription, which I know a lot of people don't like. Personally, I found that it's worth it. I use Audigo enough in my own projects that it has not been an issue for me. I guess you can do it yearly as well, which I did not know. And this kind of shows you what you can do free versus with Studio Plus. So, okay, I guess you can look over this. There are more effects, I guess, that you unlock with the Studio Plus. So there are the things like the compression, reverb, things like that. I'm not sure exactly which ones are included or which ones are not. Let's see the full comparison. Okay, it looks like stereo adjustment and noise reduction are included, and then a basic version of EQ and reverb as well. But the rest of that, the video mixer, the compression, and the delay, you need the Studio Plus version for. Yeah. Okay, something that was really cool though is I noticed back when I subscribed to Studio Plus, it was at $8 a month, and they've since upgraded it to $15 a month. I've noticed though that on my account personally, they've kind of grandfathered me in at that $8 a month, and they have not been charging me more. So if by chance they up that subscription in the future, it looks as if you will be charged what it is when you subscribe, which is super nice. Now I want to talk a little bit about the customer support that I've received. I don't want to open my email because I don't want to give away personal information, so I've just written down some conversation that I've had with customer support. And yeah, we'll get right into it. So the first conversation, and I've realized as I've read these back how desperate I sound when I reach out to the company for support. But this is the first thing I said. I said, my mic won't connect to my phone. I've tried all the steps I can find online, restarted my phone, deleted and re-downloaded the app, etc. Also, yes, I put the mic in pairing mode with the blue light. Nothing is working. So I went through this little phase where one of my microphones would not connect to my phone, which was a little bit concerning, a reliability issue. And this is the response that I got. It said, hello, Marshall. Thank you for reaching out. We apologize for the inconvenience. Our engineering team has identified a fix, and we wanted to share your two options to get it resolved. The first option was self-service firmware update, timeline early next week. It said if you have if you have access to a second iOS device, our team will be releasing a mic firmware update early next week. Once available, you can update the Audigo app on that device, connect your mic to it, and install the firmware update. After that, your mic should pair with your primary device as normal. Then option 2 was send it back to us, timeline 1 to 2 weeks. If you'd prefer, you can send the mic back and we'll apply the update on our end. We'll cover priority shipping both ways, and the total turnaround time would be 1 to 2 weeks. If you'd like to try option 1 first and run into any trouble, we can always fall back on option 2, no problem at all. Please let me know what you prefer and we'll get things moving along. As a courtesy, we've also added 2 months of Studio Plus credit to your account. Best, Richard. So I put Richard in green and I'm in blue, but that was something that I really appreciated, that because I reached out and I had an issue, they gave me 2 months of Studio Plus free, so I didn't have to pay for that. I said thank you for your prompt response. I appreciate the courtesy months of Studio Plus as well. I'm very pleased with the customer service I'm receiving. I think I'll first try option 1, and if it doesn't work, I'll contact you again about option 2. Thanks. Then Richard came back again and said thank you for following up and letting us know. We'll be sure to send you an update once the fix is live so you can try it, and we'll move from there. Best, Richard. And then I hadn't responded, and then he came back and followed up again and said thank you for your patience. Our engineering team has released a mic firmware update to update your mic's firmware. Please do all of this stuff. So he walked through the steps. Please let us know if that allows you to pair. Thanks again for your patience throughout this process. Best, Richard. And I came back and said it worked. Thank you. So it worked, no problem. I was very happy with their customer service, their willingness to jump in and help me with their product. And I'd like to point out, too, that I reached out on a Sunday. Actually, it was over the weekend. It was Sunday, March 1st that I reached out. And the very last communication, it was all resolved by Monday, March 2nd. So it was all happening within one day, this whole help process. So they were very on the ball. Now, the second experience that I had with your customer service was even more impressive to me. What had happened that time is I was working on a project, actually the project we just looked at in the app, and something that happened is I had my little stand for the microphone, and I had the magnet on top, and the microphone had gotten knocked off from about 3 feet off the ground, and it fell and broke, and I couldn't get it to turn back on and continue recording, which was a bummer because it made that recording session harder. But that being said, their customer service was awesome about it. So a little bit more background as well. I looked into the warranty policy, and it said that they had a 1-year limited warranty, I believe, is the case, which means that they don't protect against fall, things like that, which is what this was. And then I also purchased the microphone a little bit over a year ago, so it wouldn't have been covered by that warranty either way. And so I kind of just thought, you know what, I'll reach out, see if there's anything that can be done, and this is how that conversation went. So I reached out and they said, I had a tragedy happen with my mic titled Audigo MD2. The other day while working on a project, the mic got bumped off the stand about 3 feet off the ground. The plastic covering came partially off, so I've tried to pop it back together. However, it's still a bit misaligned, so the button doesn't work. Now I can't turn it on and pair it or anything. Can it be repaired? What options do I have? And then I got a response from Katie that said, hi, I'm sorry to hear this happened. Could you please send us a photo of the mic so that our engineering team can take a look and determine the best next steps? So I came back and said, hi Katie, thanks for your prompt reply. Here are a couple of photos of the mic. It's a little hard to see in the pictures, but everything's just a bit misaligned, ruining functionality. And so these are the pictures that I sent in. You can see in the front of this mic, it's just right here, not quite aligned, as well as in the back where the USB-C cable plugs in. It's just slightly misaligned right there because I dropped it and it didn't realign super well. And then right here as well, you can kind of see where it's misaligned, and in the button right here as well, just not super flush. Usually that's super flush, looks super nice. Yeah, sorry, this just got me thinking about another plug I was going to say in there. That is my one complaint about their mounting system. I like that it's magnetic, but it doesn't seem to be a super, super strong magnet, so it falls off easily, and things like this are more prone to happen. So if you do get this, just be careful with it, so it's not falling off like it did for me. Anyway, so I sent those pictures in, and she responded and said, thanks for sending these over. I'll check with our engineering department and let you know next steps as soon as possible. Best, Katie. And then again, they reached out again without me saying anything. And she said, thanks for your patience. Our engineers determined that the best solution here would be to go ahead and replace your mic free of charge. I have started the replacement process by generating a prepaid return shipping label that has been sent to your email. Please print out the label and return the mic in original packaging. Just let us know when the return is on its way and we can go ahead and process a replacement ASAP. Please let me know if I can answer any questions about this. I came back and said, thank you so much. That sounds great. I just dropped it off to the post office, so it's on its way. And she said, oh, actually, it wasn't her that responded. It was Richard again that came back and said, hello, Marshall. Thank you for following up. The replacement was shipped on Friday and is currently in transit. For your convenience, the tracking number is, and they sent the tracking number. And I'd like to point out that this process all happened from a Tuesday to a Friday of the same week. So this was also a pretty quick turnaround. They did not have to replace that mic. It was no longer under warranty, but their customer service was awesome and decided to do that free of charge. Okay, for the next portion of this video, I want to look at a few examples of this mic in action, so you can kind of get an idea of how it sounds. So I have in here a few of the projects that I have done with the microphone in a few different contexts. You can kind of see a few different styles. The first one is I recorded Cherry Wine by Hosier. So we'll see if that comes up. Oh. Let's see. The volume is all the way down for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh. I'd like to point out I have messed with this video enough with other things. I've saved it here and saved it there and copied and pasted. So that's most likely why the audio was glitching out at the beginning. I don't think it's a problem with Audigo itself because I've never had an issue like that with Audigo. Hot and fast and angry as she can be, I walk my days on a wire. It looks ugly. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a sample of that one. It was all recorded with one microphone that's out of camera right now, and yeah, that's how that one was done. The next one I want to talk about is I was at a vocal competition called Nats in Tennessee, and in this competition I was in a room with a pianist and a few judges, and they actually let my mom come in as well. So this was super convenient for that type of situation because I just slipped the microphone to my mom with my phone and had her record it. Super intuitive. I didn't have to go into too much detail on how it works for her. She was able to figure it out super easy, and she doesn't have as much of a background in any of this as I do. And so this is just an example of that. And she started it sideways. Let's see. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of the quality in that kind of setting. Again, this was only one microphone with me singing and then also the piano. And I think it turned out really well. Very good quality there as well. The next example was something that I worked on with a couple of my friends. And this is an example of having recorded on two separate mics. And so this one I actually used inside the Audigo app, but outside of it a little bit too, because what I did is I recorded the audio with one mic on the piano and one on the singer, and then we used two iPhones actually to record the video, and then I exported it all and used CapCut and kind of mixed the videos together that way. And then I also added a few other external videos, as you will see in this.
There is no end to glory, there is no end to love, there is no end to being, there is no death above. Savior.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of the quality in that kind of setting. And yeah, just gives you ideas of what you can do with it. Another thing that I have done that I did not add as part of this video, but I record a podcast, and we use these mics for the podcast every time. And so if you're interested in that, it's called Service Mission Mindset. Go look it up. You can find it on YouTube or on any main podcast, site. Okay. So another thing is I was preparing with a group for a vocal competition, Again, this was in high school for state solo and ensemble, and so we had a little group together, and we wanted to sing this song, and we wanted to hear how we sounded so then we could make adjustments accordingly. And so I just brought this microphone, we just set it on a music stand, as you'll see, and we just recorded a little bit of that rehearsal. Okay, and for some reason it's coming through sideways, so I'm not sure if this video is going to work as planned. Okay, for some reason the beginning audio cut out again. Again, I think that's problems with other issues, not with Audigo itself, because when I exported it from Audigo, it was all working. But now that it's getting a little bit of audio, we'll listen to it. So as you can see, we kind of just put the microphone in a central location over here on this music stand, and I think it honestly picked us all up pretty well. Sounded fairly nice and balanced. So yeah, that's just another example. Great for rehearsals like that to kind of hear it back and know what you can improve. Now the last example is a song that I sing in church, and this was recorded, and there's a lot of background noise and stuff as well. So I wanted to kind of give an example of what it might sound like in a noisy environment with babies and all of that. And so this one is just audio, not video. And again, sorry, I'd like to point out that this is recorded with one Audigo microphone in the audience while I'm up on the stand. Alright, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of the Audigo's use in different situations. I totally disagree with ChatGPT. I think it's a must-have tool for musicians because it's so convenient to set up to just record something on the fly, record rehearsals, record in church, where you can't necessarily bring a whole setup to record. It just doesn't make any sense. This is quick and easy, and you still get pretty good quality out of it. Their customer service, as we talked about, has been amazing with me. Again, the only downsides are really the price tag, and I don't love the mounting option. That being said, everything else about this microphone I absolutely appreciate. I appreciate that they continue to better it, and more updates continue to come out all the time. And I think that's it for this video. If you found any quality or value in this video and would like to see anything similar in the future, please like and subscribe. I'm very new to this again, and so that's it. Thank you.